council. They've left right from demolition of buildings and things.
I can't see any makers' names on any of them bricks. I collect bricks.
There's some in the down in the kitchen area. There's some there with like a raven head on it.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, I won't mind having a look at them. I've always seen.
Yes, of course.
I've always seen printed words on them so far.
If you want to go in. Yeah, I know. He's only just minute gone down that old trail.
I don't know what's going on here, but it looks like an episode of Time Team. I like it. That's like a man-sized hole, isn't it?
Just let them find something and then Tony Robinson will jump in.
It's like he's digging his own grave.
Is that into the...
We're doing a recce on the muffin.
Yeah, because I saw there was a...
Alcohol was where they had steam engines and everything.
I know. Yo!
It's getting Kipper on camera.
Oh, I just got a picture of him. Should be three of them.
We sacked him.
Do you want to sign in? I stood on the wall there. That's how big it is.
It's huge, isn't it?
It's somewhere on that site. But we've done digs from above ground, but it must be a lot deeper than what it looks like on there. So
yeah, you'd be surprised sometimes, like if banking goes up a bit behind it, it could be a lot deeper.
Have you got a pen?
That
is my camera, yeah.
What's this one going off to the side? Have you found that one?
we think that leads into the triple decker, so we're thinking if we can get into the triple decker, we might find that, then we might get into there.
Yeah, I think you said it was a tenner, didn't you?
I think it's a fiver. No.
It's a five.
Are we okay wearing our own hard hats, or do we
you're
need to
fine.
wear them
No,
ones?
you're absolutely fine.
Yeah, cheers.
I've only started watching your videos since Martin started mentioning about Northern Monkeys. I was like, alright. Ah, you ate that crayfish last week. I was like, nah.
Mate, we've had a bit of drama over that one, like. Mate, no, they can't go back in the river. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
once you know what they are and what they're doing to our waterways, they can't go back.
Yeah.
Hey.
Right, I saw you cooking and thought, right, I'm going to eat some. Oh, no.
We had to follow through with job. And to be fair, I've eaten worse.
Yeah, true.
Is this how we get down?
Yeah, this is Paddington. This is the way in.
Nice. Are we going to need torches? Who's getting lowered down this?
Yeah.
Can we get lowered down that?
I think it's show you where it comes out. It's not very far, is it?
But what is that? Did people gain access through that?
No, that's not how we got access in.
That's just for getting tools or something down?
Yeah, well, we actually use it to hold the buckets up. It used to be a skip here.
To get rid of the
So
dirt.
we hold the buckets up and...
Shifting dirt, we understand.
I'm Andy.
Brilliant. There's no prizes at the end of this, but it's fine. No.
How, has this always been an open entrance like this, or has someone found this?
Originally, we got involved. Actually, yeah, come on.
Is that a tool coming out?
Yeah.
Is that a tool?
Hello? Still got all your members?
I think so.
Everyone
We
making
started
it?
off with 7.
Yeah, well I'm going to have a little count now. 1, 2, 3. You're going to have to help me when I get to 5, Bruce. 4, 5. Well, I think you've lost a few, mate.
Well, then again, I just may not count. So, cheers.
To go.
Yeah, well,
Not really up for intros. We want to see what's down here. Oh, they come back that way, Bruce. Observe the largest known subterranean folly in the world. Like, just having that title's impressive enough, innit? I didn't actually know what a folly was until you took us to Wet Earth, Martin. And
What's that?
a folly.
Oh, folly, yeah.
A folly's just like, if you got loads of money and you're rich, it's something what you're doing with your money, innit? It's
Basically, yeah.
following your own interests.
Which way we go?
I know. Which way do we go?
Go that way. You have to stay here for the history bit first.
Right, nice.
Yeah, you blocked the way, mate.
That's it.
I bore you to death at this point.
Nah, you won't bore me.
Right, okay, the history. Right, Joseph Williamson. That's him there. He was born in 1769 in Yorkshire, And at the age of
Get in. I'm a Yorkshireman.
At the age of 9 years old, he was shipped off to Liverpool to get a job. He was taken in by a family called Tate, who were very rich, wealthy tobacco merchants. He worked his way up through the ranks and married the boss's daughter.
Nice.
That's where he got all his wealth and all his money and all his riches. So Liverpool back in the day was still quite a small city. This area of Edge Hill was on the outskirts, it's still quite rural, lots of fields and things. As we were saying before, this is all built on sandstone, and there were a few quarries in the area, taking the sandstone out so they could help build the buildings in the city centre. Joseph Williamson built his house on the house site where he vaulted over one of these quarries. And on this site, Paddington, he's done the same thing. He's vaulted over the quarry so he can develop property up on street level. This picture here shows the 5-storey buildings that would have been above your head, which he developed. So they were a mixture of residential and commercial properties. So the businesses that were actually using these chambers and cellars as storage, as use, for manufacturing and everything else. We used to have there was a bakery here, there was a bottling plant and a chemist.
Underground or above ground?
Above ground, but they were using these for storage and manufacturing of goods. So that's what they were using these for. Now, the tunnels started in around about 1810, the Napoleonic Wars. The soldiers came back from there, and back in those days there was no welfare system, so soldiers out of work, they were penniless. There was no sort of benefit system to rely on or anything, so they either got a job or they were destitute on the streets. Joseph Williamson wanted to do something about that, so he paid them to do a day's work basically, digging a hole one day, filling it in the next, and from there it developed into this mad network of tunnels which have no real reason whatsoever. They don't go anywhere like a normal railway tunnel where it goes from like A to B or anything. They're just tunnels that go off here. There,
that's why it's called a folly, because it's just it's not got a purpose.
Yeah. So the map there, that's a map of the tunnels that we actually know about. The various colours dictate various surveys and things where the tunnels have actually appeared. The areas in yellow are the areas that we actually have access into today. Eventually, hopefully, that will turn yellow.
So that's where you think the Great Tunnel is then?
Yeah, so that's a great tunnel.
So
there.
did we park here?
Yeah, you're roughly parked there, yeah.
Oh, on top of it?
No, next door
right.
to it, that's
Right.
next door.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
the train track.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, so it's behind us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the triple decker is there.
Wow.
You've been in the triple decker, haven't you?
I haven't. Some of our volunteers years and years ago have got access in there for a short period of time, so we've got some archive photographs of the top layer of the triple decker. It's a very big, wide tunnel, and we're hoping to get back in there maybe in the next month, 2 months maybe.
Why have they done a triple decker? Just because they can?
Because they could.
Just
Well,
to see,
because they could.
just see what's
Yeah.
going down.
Yeah, why not? So yeah, I mean, that's basically it with all the tunnels. They did it because they could. There was no real reason to them whatsoever. We're up here in Paddington, that's our section there at the moment. So yeah, we've got a lot of work to do to uncover all of these, and as I say, we're just waiting on permission.
Sometimes.
Well, this site, it took us 4 years to empty this out, and we estimate 1,800 tonnes worth of spoil we took out of it.
Jesus.
By hand. No machinery.
All up that
the
bucket
buckets,
line
the
there.
bucket,
The final bucket's right behind you there.
Is this actually the final
That
bucket?
is the actual final bucket.
And you keep, it even says it on it, final
Yeah.
bucket, 20th of November 2016. That's the final bucket until you start shifting soil again.
Yeah. That was the actually that's the final bucket of the big dig that we did here.
I love a bit of symbolism. That's
We had to do it because we'd spent
the amount of work what went in.
We've been here every Wednesday, every Sunday.
If it's carved out of sandstone and stuff, why can I see bricks on wall? Like, why? Do you know what I mean? Is this just this hasn't been carved out of stone? This is brick lined.
Think about it. This was a former quarry, so what they've done, they've roofed over the quarry, and in certain places they've
had
put
to put
walls in and divide it up. So
right.
that's why you can see the sandstone bricks. So you answered that one correctly, didn't I? Got onto that one.
Yeah.
So where we're up to on the history. So 1840, Joseph Williamson died. Now, the properties above ground passed into different ownership. And obviously, if you own a property here and your seller connects with the whole neighbourhood, you don't really want that, especially if you've got a business here, because people...
Yeah, of course.
So people started bricking them in and filling them in, because we're a bit of a nuisance at the end of the day. Now, Liverpool expanded, and in the 1920s, this area became like an inner city area. So it was a bit sort of rough and ready and, you know, not as affluent as it used to be. And in 1925, the last known record of people actually coming into this section was done by these guys here, the Lancashire and Cheshire Historical Society. They came down here dressed in their bowler hats and the Sunday finest, with candles, and they claimed they could walk for a mile underground, unhindered. We don't know how accurate that is, because obviously the candlelight, going up and down different levels, you're going to get disorientated. But they walk for a considerable distance underground. And after that, this is where the tunnels get forgotten. So at the very far end, you can see two pictures of like 1930s apartment blocks.
Up here at the top.
And the second one below it.
Yeah.
So all the original buildings that Joseph Williamson built were demolished. So all the original entrances were filled in or destroyed.
Covered over.
Yeah. And that's where the tunnels go into a myth. Until the 1990s, when we got involved, those apartment blocks were demolished to make way for the student accommodation, and we had volunteers looking through the fence at the development, keeping an eye on what the developers were actually doing, especially when they were digging the foundations.
Oh, just in case they come across anything.
And occasionally they went with the use of the JCB, so we could dig a trench. And it was on one of those digs that a hole appeared in the ground. And Steve, one of our volunteers, put a rope round his waist and he went down the hole with a torch. A couple of minutes later, he came back out, absolutely beaming, saying, "We found it, we found our way into here again." And that was it, that was how we rediscovered this site. In fact, this picture over here,
let's wiggle back in there and have a look at it.
yeah, that's the hole that appeared above ground, and that's how we found
Shut
our
up,
way
is that
again.
what you dropped in through?
Yeah, that little hole. But unlike that photograph, the tunnels were being filled in, so it was literally crawling around on your stomach. We couldn't stand up straight at all. But that photo looks a bit familiar, because it's the same place where those photos were taken in 1925.
Wow. Wow.
So we found our way back in, but the developers must have been worried, because when we found our way back in, we sort of scrambled round through the spoil, and we came round the corner here. If you look in the wall there, you can see the slots in the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There would have been sandstone steps going in, slotted in there, going up. So the original entrance was actually behind your head. But the developers got there with the JCB and broke the steps. So we couldn't get back in. So after a bit of negotiation, we secured this little bit of land, put our own steps in, and we had access into Paddington again.
So this is is this the only access point down into the Paddington one?
Yeah, at this moment in time, yeah. So from then until 2012, we had access into here, and we used to do like members visits like once a year.
You're so paranoid, aren't you?
I'll just say to him outside,
This,
very good.
This wasn't the council, it's actually the owners of the student accommodation.
All right.
So we were okay on this, we didn't have the council interfering.
Yeah.
The house site, which we also got access to at the same time, it was the same story. We didn't get permission to dig till, I think, 2016, till we finished digging this out.
Right.
Until then, we couldn't dig that out. We could go in, have a little explore.
Just couldn't start
but
digging
we
and
couldn't dig.
shifting.
So we could take people around and take them down a ladder into one of the tunnels into the banqueting hall, and let them have a look around there, but we couldn't dig anything out, and it was so frustrating. So, but as we were digging out this site, there was another bonus.
What did you do? The piece fell out, mine. Going down underground.
This will be new to you now, because you won't be in there.
Alright, have I not been in there?
No, because this was all bricked up back then.
I'm gonna need torch. Why is that one like a cut off? Do you know what I mean? Of an arch. That's like.
That's a good question.
Would that not be something like, you know, that massive tunnel what you're on about?
Yeah, it might have been.
The massive tunnel, would it be taking like an arch like that?
Yeah, it might have been at some point. It's broken because or it's fallen, and then they've had to put all the brickwork in. But your guess is as good as mine, really.
That's the start of an arch, that though, isn't it?
Yeah,
No two ways about it.
Yeah.
What's down there?
Look at that one there.
I'm coming in.
You know I'm coming in.
That's holding back a lot of shit, that, isn't it?
Oh, that's what you know.
Right, so what you're seeing in there, I might tell you why you're in there.
Sorry, we're in.
Right, so straight ahead where the scaffolding is,
Yeah.
that's a passageway. The roof is partly collapsed. That's a passageway that goes underneath the car park.
Oh, where we came in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that cuts that channel
That thing
from the
there?
rock there, that tunnel there. If you would just look in there, you can see a brick wall at the end.
Yeah.
It's in the brick wall.
Right, so we need to break through there because documentation that we've seen is that there's an equivalent chamber system as deep as this on the other side of that wall.
Yeah. Pass me an hammer.
Get me an hammer.
Pass me an hammer.
And if you look sort of behind you there,
This here?
where's the torch? So
Bloody hell. Oh. Shut up. Oi. All this stuff we found down here.
yeah,
Shut up.
that's only a small amount of what we found. We don't have enough room.
In that
Look, you missed them.
in that condition.
Yeah.
Stalactites.
Yeah.
That just shows your age, doesn't it? They probably would have been low if it hadn't been filled up with rubbish, wouldn't they?
We should go in there.
I'm a very loud person. Yeah. As if. I know, bro. Bro. What?
You didn't see
Holy shit. Hello down there. Shut up.
Can I come down there?
Boys. I know. Boys.
Have you seen this?
Yeah. I know. I know. His mind's not finished.
I'm looking at bottles.
Where? He went down. Sorry. Before I went in there.
Yeah.
No, don't worry. So like this, when we first came in here, this was filled up to the roof. You couldn't walk in it, it was filled completely to the roof.
Yeah.
So them stalactites have come down since '96.
Yeah, they're about, I'd say they're probably about 4 years old. Because we use them this quite actively, because once we cleared this out, we use the coal hole there to actually pull all the buckets out. That's how we emptied this out. Originally we had to carry it up the stairs. But you can see the bedrock here, the sandstone out the side. So what they've done, they've roofed this over. So basically a whole chamber or quarry, and they've roofed it over. That's what they've done.
Yes.
Please do not touch
It's just incredible what
the bungalow
got
foot
brought out
warmer.
full, isn't it?
Bedpan. What's that? Just another drop straight down.
That's level 3 that you're looking down to there.
Just got one of these bottles very recently off of somebody.
Got these as well.
They're not real, are they, man?
Yeah, cods. We've just had some
Yeah,
cods
no.
given. Cod bottles. Oh, Liverpool as well. We've got West Yorkshire ones, finger ones. Like they're hard to get.
Yeah, 'cause
Like-
we found so many of those down here broken because the kids want the marble. But I can tell you all about them, sort of how they work and everything. And
Oh yeah, well we actually on our live, we did a live video the other day, and we were trying to work out what it was for. We were filling them with liquid. We were doing little demonstrations.
So you see, there's like a rubber ring in there.
Yeah.
So you'd fill these upside down with lemonade or beer, any gassy drink, gas pressure would force that into the rubber ring and create the
Now
syrup.
it makes more sense.
So then when you drink it, you push that down, run it into the gully there, and then you can pour the drink out. That's how it works.
We thought you put the liquid in
Yeah.
with it, you poured it. No, I can't even do it with that one. You poured it one way if you wanted it to pour out fast.
Yeah.
You did the other way, sweating and snugs.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what you just explained now, I didn't even think they had. What's that class as aerated water?
Yeah,
fizzy,
like beer and lemonade and all that kind of
But
stuff.
how long ago were they making beer fizzy? I don't think they were doing.
Beer.
Do we do?
Yes.
What, even back in day?
God, yeah.
Back in day, eh? Schweppes.
There's a story to these as well.
What do you mean?
Do you know the saying, a load of old cod's water?
Yeah, yeah.
Comes from these bottles.
Cod's wallop.
Yeah, so
Go on.
cod, because it's
A cod bottle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't actually know why they're called cod bottles.
Hiram Cod was the guy who invented it. So
So,
he invented this type of bottle.
Right,
So
right,
Hiram
right.
Cod. So that's why it's called cod bottles. But cod's wallop. Wallop was a slang term for cheap beer. So if you went into a pub and you wanted the cheapest ale, you asked for a pint of wallop. They sold wallop in cod's bottles. So
Cod's wallop.
Cod's wallop.
all like our sayings and little things like that have got a little bit of something where they come from. That one doesn't look very old.
No, that was a local brewery did Tongue Ale for us in honour of us. So Tongue Ale. So
Oh yeah, nice. Joseph Williamson's got the guy's name on it as well. When you were in it, was this filled with rubbish as well?
yeah, good point.
Because look, when you've got to there and you've seen, like how, what's people said when they've seen that and seen down there? Like,
Oh my god.
like did you want to keep digging if you're sitting down there, Boots?
Yeah, why not?
That is mental.
Beautiful bizarre chair.
Yeah.
Right, I'll show you a photo of how I remember it when we first came down here. That's
Shut
what it was
up.
like.
Oh wow.
That's what it was like.
So then what happens when you get to this hole here? That was also full of rubbish.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah.
Straight to the bottom.
Yeah.
Ah, I don't want to tell you to shut up again, but I'm going to.
You don't mean it bad when it's no, he doesn't.
That's his way of saying no
See
way.
that picture?
How Brixton?
No, drop that. This is, can I say, this is called the Bishop's Mitre.
So,
Why?
So, it's something to do with the Bishop's cap. But they got the younger lads down here, and the old brickies taught them how to do this stuff. So it was like a skill sharing.
Yeah, a
thing.
bit like a brick
Yeah,
college.
as well as being like being given work, they were sharing the skills as well. And apparently it's called the Bishop's Mitre.
Yeah, different angle.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Both definitely didn't build it.
Bloody old Toxtiff bottles and that. Jesus.
yeah, well, it was basically done.
Can you imagine finding one of them?
Man, I couldn't imagine coming in here, cleaning stuff out and then coming to a bit like this. What just
But it
goes
would have
down?
been full.
I know, but like you
You'd have just found that with all the other shit underneath it. But what I can't imagine, the stuff that I find crap. You can imagine finding this stuff whole.
yeah. Oh. Hey, it's bad for condensation down here. Is that going to ruin anything / finger? Like,
It's fine. I mean, as long as it isn't like wood or anything like that, it should be fine.
oh, metal signs.
Yeah.
Is that a rail lantern?
There's a story about that. It was actually bought in a car boot sale.
And someone's donated it
And,
as
one of the volunteers bought it in a car boot sale and brought it down here. But a few years ago, we had a medium come down to like find any spirits or ghosts or anything.
yeah.
Now, all these things that we found down here, the only thing she was drawn to was that.
What someone bought from a car boot?
Yeah, she claimed that whoever had this worked down here. They died down here, terrible death, and you know their spirit is within that lamp. And we're all in, down in the background.
Got a big old story, aren't they?
We're all
Thinking
down in the
it could-
background going, yeah, right, it was
It-
bought in a car boot.
was
So
sealed.
it's nothing to do with this at all. You're talking bollocks.
Yeah. You got to take them with a pinch of salt, haven't you, to be fair.
What is that, mate?
That's part of the horse's harness. Oh. So you like drape that over the horse, and then that would pull probably a cart. You know,
So they've had horses down here then?
no, it's what people just
Chuck down as
down
rubbish.
there, yeah.
What's under this? Another hole like
Another
that?
one of those. So we think with those holes, what people have done, they broke through the roof or the floor, so you can chuck the rubbish down below.
Ah, I get you.
Yeah.
Just keep moving up. Well, have you done that like on a lower floor? Have you like lifted a brick and then same if you can do it same again?
Yeah, the bottom is just pure bedrock, so we can't go any further.
Once you get so far down, that's it. You're not going.
It is literally bedrock at the bottom. We can't go any further.
Is that?
Going down,
Is this cast?
yeah.
It built into the structure. Where does that drain out into?
That would have drained down probably into what was below. Probably what people thought.
No, but then it has to drain out again, doesn't it? Your water's going down.
There's nowhere to go down there.
There has to be, or it would just the place would flood out. That the water what went through that.
That's probably what happened in the day.
It just filled up again.
Yeah. But there, that's the hole where we broke in.
Oh yeah.
So that's where we broke back in.
It's only a bloody small one. So is this where them pictures were taken then?
Yeah.
By the olden people in the olden day and
so
the
it's literally
finger?
like round here, yeah.
Mate, I still... This is shocking, this. So every item apart from the lamp, which come from a car boot sale...
Everything was found down here. Absolutely everything.
This Williamson thing says Williamson.
Yeah.
Is that just a
No,
coincidence?
it's just a coincidence, but it was found down here. Do you want to see our best item now?
Do you know what? I still need my torch on because this GoPro's not giving off the bestest light. What do you mean the best item? Who says it's the best item? You, other people?
Most of us do. This one. You've seen it, haven't you?
Yeah.
So
1902. Edward. Is it Edward?
Edward the 7th.
Yeah.
Coronation. Looks a playing cup. Until you hold up to the light. There he is.
Ah. How were they doing that in 1902?
It's literally just the thickness of the, if you're feeling there, it's like the thickness of the china. That's all you've done.
Bloody hell. That's nice, that. This is what walkway is. Let's look at this cup. Check out the bit in the bottom. Let me get me.
That pipe is phenomenal. Look at that.
Yeah. Thanks to this cup.
Quite a few of these bottles, Bruce, we've got them.
Coronation with Edward the 7th. 1902. And the little magic trick.
Whoa. How the fuck not is that accurate?
It's literally like the thickness of the china.
Aye, bone marrow. Ooh.
Different thickness of glass, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that.
Oi.
Bone marrow, yeah.
A preparation of bone marrow, an ideal fat food for children and invalids.
Get a picture of that.
That's not it.
Boots.
Wow.
Cash chemists.
Or Virov.
London. I love old bottles. Like just old bottles and old thingies. They're just so much better than new ones.
Senna, that's to keep you regular.
Yeah.
You still use
It's a
that
key.
now.
Shut up, is it still
Yeah,
a good
so
thing?
what's it? It's
Confection
you still buy
Senna.
Senna now.
Yeah.
More cuds.
You seen that one before?
Walton.
The
What?
blue bottle.
The blue bottle. Not Star.
Do you know what it is?
I've got absolutely no idea. They're usually poison bottles when they're like that.
Not this one. Don't know if you can make it out on there.
Fire extinguisher.
Yeah, fire extinguisher. So the early days of the fire brigade, they had to make money because they were self-funding. And they used to sell these fire grenades. It's quite thin glass, you can see.
Yeah, yeah. So it's done very, very well to survive.
Yeah, it was filled with a mixture of water and a chemical. I'm not sure which.
Who's what the
it
chemical
was.
called? We know what it was. We were on an old fire engine the other day and he bloody told us the name of the chemical.
So you'd have a fire, and what you'd do, you'd throw it onto the fire, and supposedly put the fire out, but not.
I
actually.
can't.
But it was a good way of making money for the fire.
Yeah, or
brigade.
maybe put the candle out, like... Oh.
So that goes down to level 4. And the spoil from level 4 actually came up through that hole.
Again, this is a hole. That's maker's hole, that innit?
That would go up to street level.
That's not a hole you've just made, have you? Do you know what I mean? That's. It's like. How? I don't even understand how they're making them bricks stay there. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like the wall of a shaft, but there's nothing underneath it.
The quality of the brickwork. I mean, as well, if you look at the far end where it curves round, they've actually done it so it blends into the bedrock. They haven't actually continued a brick hole round. They've actually.
You just like swirl it out and swung it round.
It's going that way.
Yeah.
It's coming down like that.
I mean, it's like the Bishop's Mitres. The quality of
The angles,
brickwork.
the angles are very.
So those hooks, they date from a bakery that was on site, Wont Bakery, which was quite big in the northwest. We think they were used for hanging meat, storing meat down here because the temperature stays the same all year round.
Just like this, I don't know what we are, but it's going to be about 10, 15 degrees in it. Oh, pipes with the eggs still on them. Have they been found down here in that condition?
Yeah, we found so many pipes down here because the small ones, you'd buy them pre-filled, you'd smoke it once and throw it away. We found so many of those, obviously a lot of them broken, but some of the more intact ones we put on display.
Oh, look at this one. That's a lovely bottle, that.
Boots. See this one then? This baby's bottle?
Yeah, we've actually got a baby's bottle. We found a Parkinson's one from France, 1904.
They were commonly known as murder bottles.
Yeah, kill bottles. It used to
'cause
kill them.
Couldn't sterilise properly.
Oh no, but as well, you can't. You'd get something what would congeal in one side as well. Yeah, they were.
Whereas the Boots one is a later one where it's open at both ends, so you can properly flush that out.
I've got a Parkinson's one made in France in 1904. It was one of the first ones we found. Look at them irons.
Try lifting that big one. Why would you iron with that?
It's going to press it down nice and flat though, isn't it?
I always say you don't argue with the person who irons with that one.
Your nana or something.
So you try
I'm sorry, Nan. Click round here, look.
I'll look at this other pipe that we found.
That's phenomenal, isn't it?
Oh my god.
So they're playing football there, right?
Yeah.
If I flip it around, they're playing
Yeah,
rugby,
rugby.
and then there's a boot kicking a
Kicking
ball.
a ball.
Wow. I bet somebody just sat in the yard and crafted that, haven't they?
Yeah. It's we've only when we're out with you on River in Manchester, like you find the stems for pipes quite a lot, don't you? But it's hard.
Never found a bowl yet.
And all this stuff as well. I mean, it's all in perfect. Well, this is in perfect condition. It's like you flick it. There's no cracks, nothing wrong with it at all. And they just threw it down
I
in.
mean, look at that.
Yeah, the cheese bell.
So I mean, you think it'd been placed down here, wouldn't you? Not thrown down here.
Well, some of it, when we discovered it, some of it you could tell it had been placed.
It must have been.
But others you could tell had been thrown because we found, I remember there was one weekend where I was digging and I literally spent 2 hours just pulling find after find and it was all at the edge here.
Like
So it was like, so imagine a mound of spoil, they've thrown it down, it's all rolled down to the
Yeah,
edge
yeah,
there, so you
chickle.
can tell what's been thrown and
What's been placed.
But it's just mad, like you'll find like a stack of plates, carefully placed, as you come back the next week to use them. And then but there's all broken bricks around them and everything, it's just mad.
So I can't work out the angles, mate. They've done.
This is just.
This is, I mean...
I think they've done it by. They must. I don't know. Have they used measurements? Have they done it by eye? Like some of the things doesn't look like measurements have been involved. Do you know what I mean? It looks like they've just done
you
it.
Look at like the joins and the quality. I mean, you wouldn't get brickies doing that today. It's just so fine.
We've had a little go at bricklaying ourselves, haven't we, Bruce? I'm not very good at it, me. The boys are. I went in a brick Nick. Where's the Raven brick? He said he had a brick of it.
That's over at the house site, I'll show you them.
Before we go,
I don't think there's anything on there. Back to that Bishop's Mitre, it's all to nowhere. So normally where we see these, it points
to
a
somewhere.
passageway, but that just goes to bedrock. So it's like the plan to dig that way and for
Just
whatever
never
reason,
went that way.
Yeah,
No, if it anything other than bedrock, you'd be trying to get through it, wouldn't you?
when we've got kids on the tour, I'll say, the rumour is there's a brick. We've not found it.
Yeah, pressure, yeah.
All open up.
Nice.
Do not. Still shocking, all them bottles.
We've got more.
Oh, I bet.
We don't have the space to put everything on display.
We're on this way.
Yeah, go down to level 3.
It's the angles what are mad. It's just. So how far are we under the street here already?
Probably about
Listen to the echo.
30 feet or 20, 30 feet.
Northern monkey.
We've had musicians down here recently recording to do like, we're doing like an album thing and like a video, so they've been recording down here. Now you see the orange mark there?
Yeah.
That marks where the spoil was when we first came down, and you'll see them all over the place up at that level.
Shut up.
So yeah, all there, all on there.
And even that one in there were full of rubbish right down to the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. When I first came here for a tour, the spoil was like up there. We had like a narrow passageway. You couldn't stand up straight, and my hard hat was scraping on the ceiling. We used to say to people, touch the roof because in a few years' time you
won't be able to do it.
But we had like 10 foot, 20 foot rods that we were pushing into the spoil and just not hitting the floor. And we're like, how far is this going?
That's bedrock floor, innit? What you stood on there?
Yeah.
So I think how long water's been running down that. It's took water probably 20, 30 years just to do that. On a slight trickle. Shit.
That's mad, isn't it? It's like a full underground.
Level 3, section 4. Where's the train tracks in relation to us now? Where did the train tunnel cut through it?
Oh.
Or is that round the other bit near the house?
That's round by...
The house. This bit has to connect to that other bit, surely.
We think the hard one, where those tunnels are going off,
That's where the join is.
It has to. Because everything else he seems to have done is made sure that it all connects up.
There's a nice round shaft way into this one. Oh yeah. That's mad, ain't it? So I mean, where's that water going? That water, what's going down there? I can see that. It has to be drained. You have to pump it out. It just fill up with water.
About 2 or 3 years ago, the pump broke down and it took 6 weeks to get repaired. And in that time, it flooded to about 10 feet. We actually had to get another dinghy down and go around so we could lift all the electric cables up.
Wow.
All the water is actual mineral water and untested and it's safe to drink. It's still through the rock.
Ah, so it's as clean as you're going to get.
We kind of think when it was first emptied out, it must have flooded down the back. So maybe they used this as a well for us now. It's all
What?
Get down there and drink some of that.
I want to go down there.
You will take.
I love this bedrock thing. This is that sandstone.
Yeah, so-
remember on the river, on the well where we had the brew?
Yeah.
First time I met you, same stuff. And it just goes all the way across from Manchester and it's still here.
What, that's the same geological level kind of thing, that same one?
Same
Basically, the whole of the northwest, back in the day, was a desert.
Yeah.
In sort of
Ancient times.
Yeah, it was a desert, and that's what you're actually standing on. The rock of the desert. But this is kind of where the quarry sort of ends and the brickwork starts. Now, we're not sure because it's all speculation, we haven't got documentation. But we think when all the brickwork was put in and vaulted all this over, we think originally that's where the floor was. And then at some point we carried on quarrying the stone out.
So-
At some point. This stops here because the quality of the sandstone isn't as good. But we carried on digging on that side, but that's why that side is a lot deeper than this side. But
As if the quality differs that much from here to there though.
it's the only
Explanation for why you'd go down there.
But if you look at the buttresses here, they're hollow. They wouldn't go all the way up to the roof of the property above. The one there is quite dark, so we would have lit a small fire in there to let all the bad air out.
Oh yeah, draw it out.
Fresh air came in there. That would have been near to floor level. So we think at a later date somebody thought, I can make some money out of the stone and bring it to my feet. Let's carry on digging.
Oh, that's... Is that room?
Yeah.
That's in the tunnel to nowhere yet, where we used to have a pulley here, we used to put buckets up here and pull them up through there. And we used to have a pulley here and pull them down there as well.
Pulleys we understand, don't we? Every time you go back on yourself, you take 25% of the weight off in it, so. Oh. That was good. You nearly got it in logo. Oh, going out over a big drop here. Hey, look at the pick marks on the wall, Bruce.
Right, so if you're really good, just come out onto the bed here. Oh, it is very, very, very uneven, so just watch it.
Boom, we're straight on it.
I can't believe it.
You just said it's very uneven, very slippy.
That's all, Jack.
See, you've got a curved bit again. Nice. Well, what do you say? It's good enough to drink?
I've never tried it after but we have had it tested and we did say it was safe to drink. That's how long
Just tastes like water. Tastes like water. Why does that look like there's a curve to it? Why is the wall black? Just because it's wet?
Just because it's wet, yeah. Probably because of all the sport that we had in here as well, which we had to dig out.
How come it's cut round?
So the reason why it's cut there is basically the remnants of the quarry. The way they used to quarry the stone, they cut a trench either side and then undercut the rock in the middle, and that would be the stone that we left.
Nice. Look at the end bit.
It wouldn't have gone up, it would have gone, well, not that way, would it? It would have gone... I was thinking it was an open quarry towards the river, but it's not, is it?
No, it's great. You're right. How did you get him back up and out?
Up there.
So we have lifted this up.
When you think of quarries, labour is like a big open cast quarry in a big field with a big hole in the ground. The way these quarry back in those days, rather than buy like a whole field and dig it out, they'd buy a small strip, because it was cheaper to do a small strip, and just dig as deep as possible and get as much out of that little strip as possible.
How come, look, did they have some kind of mechanical thing?
No.
So why is the gap pretty much uniform, and why is the end surface like it's round like a scoop, and it is on that side like?
Because they were very good at their job. Because if you look,
It looks
if you look at the stone there, you can actually see where they put the tools in to actually break the stone.
They've just done it on that motion bar.
That's crackers, that.
You do the same sort of thing when you're shaping a flag. When I worked for Liam, it was the same thing. Because I was whacking on a certain angle, you couldn't do it.
It is very slippy, isn't it?
Yeah. So when you stood there, you're about 40 feet from the floor to the ceiling there, and from there to the ground was 100 feet.
I can see light up there. Can you go in that bit and look down here?
That's what I'm saying. That's where I said the spawn.
Shut up, is that where we were up at that bit?
So the spawn, back in the day, the spawn actually went through that hole. You could stand the spawn in that hole. So they're basically getting the money worth out of that piece of land.
Why have they left that? Would you still call it a buttress if it's at the bottom here? Why have they left that?
I think they've left the buttresses there because they put the brickwork in.
No, but I mean, and if they've quarried this out to use as a product, why would you stop there? Why wouldn't that be part of your next brick? Do you know what I mean? Whoever's quarrying this out isn't thinking about that, what's going on up there, are they? Because it predates it. Do you understand what I mean?
No, I think what's happened, they've carried on quarrying after all that's been...
Right, so that's when they carried on the... They must have done. Well, they must have done for that reason.
Like you say, if this predates all of that,
Yeah.
that would have all been taken out.
Yeah, it'd been gone.
That we can use. But I think it's happened after...
Yeah. No, it has to have done, doesn't it?
Then dictated where they can dig. But then you start thinking, how the hell did they get the stone out when this is all being moved over? it just As I said to you, we dug this out to find answers and we've ended up with
More questions.
Because none of it makes sense.
Bishop's mitre. I'll be looking for them in future. Yeah. So if that were his house, this is essentially his basement.
Yeah, so this is going into like his cellars, into his kitchen. I'll take you into the boiler room first.
Bloody hell, straight away, there's just tunnels everywhere again. Ah. Is that the building when it was still stood?
Yeah, well what happened, that was the building, you can just make out the building there, you can see the arch.
Yeah.
And it was 3 stories. Now in the 1930s, it was largely demolished for a garage repair works, so
That's what come next.
they basically left the top 2 stories here and everything else was demolished, the house was gutted. That was the interior of the garage as it was.
And all this obviously underneath us.
Yeah. And then when we got the site back, this is how it was when we first came back. So all this area, which you can see now, the kitchen area, was all concreted over, all filled in. We didn't even know that was there.
Oh yeah, look, is that I'm going down at first, yeah?
Yeah, so further back, the way to the banqueting hall, originally you had to go down a 20-foot ladder. with a harness arrest equipment on as well. It was the only way in, but we opened it up, we found a way in through
Another
here,
way
which
when
is
you-
why we sort of cleared this out, so we could actually put a staircase in rather than having to use this ladder, because it was quite a squeeze to get in there.
I love that, mate.
Is it a proper little fire though, yeah?
Got one over there.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Remember, yeah?
Yeah.
Did it definitely not go anywhere, or has it just been filled in?
It's definitely a fireplace,
It's
isn't it?
definitely a fireplace, but it doesn't seem to go anywhere, whether or not it's
No
been
flue.
properly bricked in or not, I don't know. But it didn't make any sense.
There's more bottle finds, pipes and
Yeah.
stuff.
Ooh! That's down to the banqueting hall, which will be going down there shortly. That would have gone up to street level as well, so that hatch would have been up on street level, and people would be walking across it.
If you see an item you like, pop some money in the pot and take it.
Not there.
No, just off the fines. Just off the fines. You keep saying banqueting hall. Is it bigger than that one we just went in?
You'll see.
Does it deserve the title banqueting hall?
You'll see. I've looked down there.
Did you give it that title, or has the man?
We gave it the title because
The story.
there was like a story to it, which we've since blown the arse off that story. Real. Sorry. Now, the racks aren't original, that's what we put in.
Right, just to
But-
demonstrate.
Yeah, but if you
They
look,
fit
if
nice.
you look at the stone, the solid sandstone, really nicely carved, it doesn't support the roof. It's nothing, it's just decorative. So you think, why would you have something decorative down here? So maybe it was his wine cellar. You know, it seems to fit the purpose.
Why is there no wine in any of these bottles?
Because we drink it. Because we have to.
Again, I
Part of
keep
the job.
seeing things that look like wood, and it's not, it's stone.
We've never worked out quite what that is.
It looks like a bloody another tunnel.
That goes on, doesn't it? And down.
Yeah, we've never quite worked out where that goes.
Does it go down there? Doesn't it?
Only a little bit.
Again though, for even to be built and thingy, it obviously goes somewhere or did something.
And then again, we've got the Bishop's Mitre, which you'll see here.
Oh, I could have named that for you.
This used to be a passageway, but at some point they've bricked this up. They put a pipe in there and they've lined the inside, so this might have been like a water storage area. But the passageway goes to the other side of the site.
What do you mean, all the way down?
To the other side of our site, there's another hatchway where you can go down to the other side.
Well, that should be going out under that car park next door, what you were just on about.
It doesn't though, because
It has to.
No, because if you go down the hatchway on the other side of our site, you'll go into like an opening. Then you've got like a wide staircase that heads off underneath the road. But there's a little bit of a passageway that goes that way, but it doesn't go any further. But like I say, there's this big archway that goes underneath the road, and there's a wide staircase that goes down. It's all bricked up, so we can't go any further at this moment.
I can see, there's an hole over there, there's a man-sized hole, has someone been through that?
Yeah. I've actually been through that as well.
You've been through that hole?
Yeah.
Nice! Please take that hole out that end of there.
Of course, if we see a hole, we're going to go down it.
Yeah, them's the rules.
So that's a bit unknown that way at the minute.
Yeah, it's, well, we do know where it goes roughly, but, well, apart from where it goes from underneath the road, we don't know where it goes after that. That's bricked up, and obviously, because it's going under the road, we don't know where dig that out at this moment in time. But having said that, you get bloody HGVs coming up and down this road, and it's not collapsed, so.
Nice, Ant. I know. That's what I'm here for, isn't it? Thanks, Dad. Very good.
We have come places from in there looking out.
Have you?
Yeah.
Kipper started to do alright with photos, he's like taking mad abstract ones and that.
Yeah, his expression.
Yeah, he's like, I'll come in a room, he's like laid on the floor with a cabbage on his head. Like, proper steps it up.
This is all materials from
Willie's garage.
Garage.
There's a garage. The garage that was above this. All these tools down here.
Is that his sign?
Yeah.
What, they've got his sign?
Yeah.
Well,
These were rubbish to them.
years ago, we had an elderly gentleman on the tour, and I was on the tour, and we came down here, and he was looking at all this stuff. He still likes to work for the garage.
Oh wow. Yes.
All these fancy elaborate steps and stuff.
Again, the remnants of the house, we've still got some plaster work on here. The original plaster work. Now, coming through here,
I've got one of them at home.
because we need to replace the supports because they could collapse at any point.
Yeah, man. That's what I like it.
Them steps are the most fancy steps I've seen around so far.
Yeah, so we think originally when the house was built, this would have come out into like a sunken garden or a courtyard. It would have been
Something.
It would have been for the owners because a wide staircase indicates it's for the owners. Narrow staircases were for servants and all that.
It's not that, the elaborateness,
Yeah.
the double lip and the thing head, it's cost some money and some effort, hasn't it?
So at some point they've extended the house and this ended up being inside and they've put the fireplace in.
That James Callison's marmalade, we found them in Burnley. Martin, that's the kind of stuff we dig up on ours.
Is it?
Yeah, they make, and we've got exactly one of them from one of them in Burnley. Why is she flickering?
Ghosts.
Ghost of Lady Williamson.
So again, this was all filled in, and as you can see, all they've literally done is fill all this in and then put like a concrete over for the car garage above.
Just a very basic floor level.
So it's really thin, so literally as we dug this out, we had to make sure this was all fully supported. Yeah, we need to replace all this wood.
Yeah.
Never gone off other places, laying bricks, doing bishop martyrs at other places, aren't they?
You think at the time of this, it's around the Industrial Revolution, like
Yeah.
1830s, 1840s, so you've got the railways being built, so anyone who can do that kind of brickwork, they can go and build all these like St Pancras Station, all these grand viaducts and arches, and you know,
You've got a job, haven't you?
you've got a job. So that's probably what he was doing, he was setting them up for a job.
Hello. Oh, that's the original sign.
So it would have been for like labelling things up or whatever.
Fucking SO lube. Boosh.
We actually found
Fucking look out for a bottle of lube.
What?
It's lube. Drills, accents.
To keep you going there.
shape bottles on this one.
And a non-emergent pot shit, have we, Bruce? We need some of them.
No, again, it's an Avon bottle, aftershave bottle.
I was asking, I was going, so what's this? Some garage.
To short. I want to go in the other bits, the bits they can't go in.
I think you show us where they're up to. When I went, when I came, they were digging one place out.
Yeah.
They were at it and you could see what was going on and that.
I like the sound of that main chamber, the big tunnel.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like, no, and
Well, that'll be another, what you said to me, they'll end up going in on the belly on it.
Yeah.
And then they'll have to dig it all out.
the drain in front of the urinals.
Because they know roughly where it is.
So I figure out if it comes down
just need someone to crawl through all, don't you, and start scratching.
in that bowl.
Right,
That room, I'm looking for water coming through, but I can't see.
Torch, bro. Buttons long gone.
It looks like
Whisk, Bruce making cakes.
it's Are you sure?
No, it's a lamp.
I don't think that's how you thought.
Buckets everywhere.
Yeah. We're getting a drink on that, or what?
Not a good span.
So they've got a bit of privacy.
Hey.
Couldn't believe it when we started digging down from up there, could we? We suddenly come across the top of a piece of slate and think, what the fuck's this, you know? And then there's another one, and another one, and then...
Well, you would have only had to go a couple of inches to get them. I bet that was amazing.
And all complete, undamaged as well was nice, wasn't it? Oh, just one bit of the trap at that end was missing. Didn't we even find... Somewhere, didn't we have a couple of
That's
pieces?
mental, that.
I think we did.
And they had numbers on the back. Was it a self-assembly job?
Need to show you.
Oh, something else down there. Try to get them stone skirtings back on. I weren't recording round there for some reason.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, the Ravenhead. There you go.
Ah.
There's a few of them around there as well. Yeah, there's on the course there as well.
Some more there, isn't there?
There's more there.
They must be old brickmakers' marks, them. I've only got one stamped brick. All the other bricks what I've collected so far have got names or writing and words. I've only come across one so far with a stamp. That,
This was a replacement piece of wall.
what, the full wall there?
From there, to that buttress there. That piece of wall is a replacement piece put up somewhere around 1930.
Right.
Not original Williamson wall like that lot. Because the drill.
It's blocked off at the end.
Going down what you can see there. Yeah, what is this tank over down there?
It's a few of the drop. It's a couple of the drop.
Oh, you got it? Yeah, famous death ray.
What, we got a banging torch there, yeah? I was going to get beamer out.
Is it? You get it?
No, this is the one I had before.
All right.
But this will actually finish off you digging out and just burn a hole through all the rest of the soil.
Right.
Nice.
Well, the suspense is killing us.
I am in mind to actually have a go going down there.
I'd go down
Mate,
there.
I will crawl down it now with camera and show you exactly what's down there. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, mate, I've got gas detector in my bag. Let's have a little crawl down there. We'll have a little crawl down. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
Forever.
We'll be back in 10 minutes.
She'll let you
We'll
go
be
down
back in
there.
10 minutes. I'll stop my camera now and I'll show you.
What?
I can show you what's on the camera. Like if I stop it now.
Well, Tom went down there the other week, he only got halfway down because it was getting, I think he was like 10 minutes in, he still hadn't got
Started panicking, hadn't it?
No,
Started
it wasn't
panicking.
panicking, he was just like, he just got fed up of like, he's got to make all his way back as well.
In tank rover.
Yeah, tank rover needs to go down. Probably lose signal on him though.
Oh.
It would be a good visual for tank rover to go down there.
Who's carved
You know what I
it?
mean?
Who's carved that? Like who's made it?
We
Like,
think what it is,
Goes uphill
this
and all,
would
doesn't
have been like a natural fissure, we think, and what they've done is they basically
Drainage.
moved over it. Yeah, maybe like drainage for the quarry.
No.
I'll climb that.
Get one on.
Yeah, tank rover, you need to bring that.
Yeah.
Let's get with it.
I think it's for drainage.
We think it was for drainage.
Right.
I'd have thought that initially just because of the thing, but you know what? There's something else. It seems to be, doesn't seem to be sloping down, does it? It seems level or tape measure.
Tape measure. Tom's getting it now.
Don't say don't take it on an adventure.
I'm not even seeing the roof.
I think that was
Oh,
bigger
it's
than
pretty
it.
bigger than it looks in there.
Yeah.
Massive in there. What direction are we going here? Are we going towards the train station? Are we going towards the river?
You're going towards like the railway cutting.
Towards the railway cutting?
Yeah, so the back of the house site
Yeah,
is basically
it's
that way, so then eventually you will meet the railway.
Is there a
cutting.
blockage?
Nice.
I think there's a blockage at the end because when you think about it, we are quite high up on a hill.
Yeah.
So even though we're actually underground, we are still quite high up in terms of like what's on where the railway cutting is and the road is. So these are I think just blocked off at the end.
Has it been carved as well? Have they carved it out of the stone boost? They've carved it out of the bedrock, haven't they?
Someone's been down there carving, bringing buckets back.
They must have dressed the stone as they've gone down there, because that's all neat and tidy, the stonework.
Even drops the level.
Are you going to have a tape measure long enough to get to the end of there? Because it looks like it goes some.
We should have.
We've got soft soil on floor, it's not even going to be a drama, that, is it? Do you know what might be a drama? The tape measure being tied to the man in front, or someone else crawling behind.
But the guy behind pulls the tape measure.
Yeah. How confident are we it's clean air in there? Do we need air?
It's clean air.
100% clean air. It's good enough. It's good enough for us.
If it's not clean air, well, we'll just forget you ever came in.
Slide a broke in front.
We'll just put the gate back. Going down.
Yeah, we're both going. I'm going to take
Before
the...
you go in, let me just say a couple of things.
tie the tape measure to my leg.
Take no responsibility.
Of course, we've signed all disclaimers. If we don't come back, lesson learned.
Hang on, I want to
Bruce,
take
Bruce, I'm taking the tape measure, he'll struggle.
Alright, look, as far as I'm concerned,
Yeah?
that is straight-sided all the way.
Yeah.
One or two people have said they think it gets narrow, but I think it's all in the head. You tell me when you come out.
Yeah. Well, we'll measure and try.
I think it's dead level. I don't think there's a slope either way. Some people think it slopes slightly downhill. I haven't felt the difference either direction.
Looking at it here, I don't think it slopes. Do you know what I mean? I think it's straight.
So I don't think it was ever made to carry water. It does go a good 30 metres out beyond our back fence, and we're at that point you're getting on for 20 feet below our ground level. We know for a fact that it opened out at the other end into the top layer of Williamson's triple-decker tunnel.
So there's a chance what...
3 levels of brick arch tunnel, one above another, and it emptied out into the top level. And the fellas that got in there in 2005 seemed to think that there was a vertical shaft from its end that went down through the second and first levels as well. Which sounds crazy, but that's what we think. But along there, I mean, you can see the whole thing is covered with blocks.
Yeah.
Slabs of stone. And along there, you'll find one or two of them are cracked. But there's a point about 30 metres on, I think, I measured it with the laser measure last time, where I think there's a stone that's sort of cracked in half and dropped slightly. It's not dangerous.
Yeah.
But whether the blockage that you see underneath it
Is part of
soil
that.
that's been piled in there to keep kids out, or whether it's fallen through, I just don't know. Because I never got quite that low.
We'll have a little look. Now, can we tie this to my leg or fasten it to my shoe or something, and then I'm not...
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm not thinking I'm not...
If you die, yeah.
It's, yeah, don't be worrying about that. Yeah, I'm sure you got family and stuff to be worried about. Don't worry about little old me. Right, see you soon, boys. Bruce, can you see blockage yet?
You got all torch on?
Yeah, blockage now. You can see a blockage. He's saying there's some sort of cracked thing, Bruce, above it. Yeah. And, oh, bloody hell. He don't know, Bruce, if that's the end of the blockage or thing of this. Bruce, this used to go and connect to the 1000% it spins out. Bruce, this used to connect to the triple tunnel. There's an open bit at the end and it's locked. There's an open bit at the end and it's locked or blocked. Right, well, I'm coming now with a tape measure. The boys need to know the length of the distance, Bruce, to the blockage. Yeah. Anything you can find in here or see in here. Bruce, this is probably like the least explored part. Yeah. Right, this is where... You seen this blue glass stuff on the floor? Oh. Like blue glass or like blue plasticky type stuff? Oh yeah. Oh, it's not stone lined anymore, it's brick. Yeah. don't know what I've just found, but I feel like it's a piece of something.
One at the end.
You're at the end?
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely gets narrower this, doesn't it?
It's definitely narrower. I'll have to go in sideways now.
I wouldn't say it's getting shorter and it's getting narrower, isn't it, Bruce?
Yeah, definitely narrower. I can't see in sideways now.
Bruce, now I know it's getting narrower.
My shoulders and so.
Oh, my shoulders now, like, I don't know if you can tell, but like I'm snug in the hole. Well, what have you had to do, like go sideways?
Yeah, man.
Let me get this in me. Come on. Bro, you're gonna have to come. I'm not gonna be able to. I can't reach my ankle to get the tape measure.
You have to lie inside,
Yeah. Oh, hang on.
turn over,
Let me put them there.
and go forward.
Why, what you saying? It can turn around?
You have to turn round me.
Shut up, you can turn around in this space.
You have to turn round.
Right, hang on. I know what they're on with here, Bruce. They're trying to find that blockage on surface, aren't they?
This is you come to you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come and get. I can't. Yeah, we're coming back in 1 second. Go on.
When you stop, let us know because we'll measure it then.
Yeah, of course. We're just check. We're almost there. We're just gonna get the tape measure to the blockage.
Oh, come on,
Come on, man. Fuck, I can't Yeah, bro. Yeah, take my camera as well, Bruce.
Yeah.
Show it the blockage.
Okay. It's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride.
I'm not in the best of positions. But I will take you to the blockage.
Hold on.
Bruce, do you know where we can wiggle past that now?
Nope.
100%.
1000%.
They're only doing it on the surface.
We're at the blockage.
Right, it's there now. Okay. Yeah, it's at the blockage.
What are you digging?
I'm digging down to see if there's a flaw. I feel like I found some bits of something, Bruce, bits of metal or something, I don't know.
Have they got the measurement?
Yeah. Have you got the measurement, boys? Have you got the measurement? Yeah. Right, we're coming back if you want to put. Can you reel the tape measure in? Bruce, let go of the tape measure.
Yeah, man.
Hold on, go on.
Bruce, I've tried turning around about 5 times, I can't turn around, bro.
You asked me. I'm just gonna round now.
All that glassy plastic stuff.
On 4.
Yeah.
Loads of it.
So I'm hard to carry 2 cameras. We're getting back into bedrock now. Must be somewhere back near it. I can remember all that glass stuff as well. Oh, it is, Bruce. Sticky in reverse.
Not far.
It definitely gets narrower. Does it? Definitely gets narrower and shorter. Changes from bedrock to brick.
The lie of the land obviously was sloping downhill.
Finding a lot of that in there. That's the plasticky stuff, but then look at these other ones. All them others, look. Some sort of metal slag or some sort of metal. This, whatever it is.
Yes, it does.
Is like it's going down the full length of the tunnel. That is in. Do you know what I mean? All that. There's thousands of pieces of it. I don't know what it is.
Have you been kneeling on stuff like that?
Yeah.
Because I don't remember feeling anything nasty under my knee.
Yeah, no. Well, that's what made me aware of it. I've kneeled on it, then had a look for what it were sharp, and come across these. It's just one of them. It looked like a pair of bloody boots. It looked. Honestly, it looked like man-made. That's how we're picking the first one up.
That's interesting. I wonder what the hell that is.
I'm not sure what that is.
We'll keep those bits. The plastic.
And that, there's a lot of that as well.
Bricks. Behind the bricks is more dirt. It's like a little cavity right at the end.
That blockage is probably your train tracks in it. Is that not going to be railway? If that goes towards the railway and stuff, is it?
It goes towards our back fence and then there's a steep slope beyond it.
Right, well, it definitely stays level, but it does definitely get shorter.
Oh, it definitely
narrower.
gets thinner. Like I'm going down like this first. Yeah. Then I have to turn like that. Real small. 1,000% it gets thinner and
Short all the way to the end. One of our lads who went there's a bit stocky.
One second. Good to
And
go.
when you're going down there, just have a look above your head
Look up.
as you go in. Yeah. Exactly the same as that. It's been cut out of the rock from above.
Yeah.
Before the ground level was raised up this much, and sandstone slabs all the way along from end to end, covering it.
Alright.
Exactly like this.
Oh man.
But it goes down it's much deeper.
Nice. We'll check it all out, man. What? Wow. Holy shitting shit.
We fucking Indiana Jones, bro.
Have you seen round this corner, boys? Wow.
Shoulders are too wide.
I need some. You can start going down sideways.
Oh my god. Biggest gap I've ever been in.
That's what he's on about. Oh, it goes down.
So this is the banqueting hall.
Why is it called the banqueting hall? Because of its size? Have you got a story?
So the story goes, Joseph Williamson invited all his mates round for a banquet, basically. He led them into his dining room, and there was a banquet there. It was like really poor food, really poor quality meat, not really an attractive banquet. a lot of his friends said, oh, not having this, disgusted, went home. The ones who stayed behind said, right, now that I know who your friends are, follow me.
Yeah.
And the story is he brought them down here and there's a banquet fit for a king. That's the story.
Is it true?
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Just who your friends are.
Ah, no, get out! Get out!
Every time. Kipper wouldn't be, would it?
Do you know what's through that hole there? Have you found the other side of that?
That's pretty much where the boiler room is. So where you were when you first came down the stairs and we took the inside
Yeah.
room with the fireplace, that's the boiler room would be.
Oh, so the room above that is still underground as well?
See the hole there? That's that hole that's in the boiler room where you walk down.
Oh yeah, bloody hell, I keep missing them.
Nice, nice.
Oh yeah. So we're right above it. So it's literally hollow underneath that room.
Yeah.
So you said
So you know
that
anyway-
story is rubbish and you know why.
Yeah, because when we first found this, there was the spoil was like literally up to here, but at the back end it came all the way up to the roof.
So it's been getting through.
So in the old days you could walk down and take a picture of the ground. Now we thought for that story to be true, the entrance must have been there, because the only way we had in was there. I was thinking, a banquet, you get people dressed in their fine, you get the fine dresses and clothes, you need a proper staircase. So we thought
To be over here.
Right there, in the mound of earth. So once we took that mound down, we realised the only way in was there. So can't you buy the dash? So it kind of put the story to bed really, because the only way down was through there, and that staircase is what we put in. It's just a slope.
Oh, is it slow?
Yeah, that's just a slope underneath that staircase. So there's no way you could have brought a meal down here or brought guests down here. So
These hot water bottles,
yeah, they're all hot water bottles. Yeah.
I've got one of them at home undamaged. Like, it's first time we've seen them other day.
There's one in Paddington as well, which is undamaged as well.
Yeah, I've seen that one as well. Why did he say feet on them?
Feet.
Yeah, that always says feet. Like I was told that the hot water bottles, olden day hot water bottles, like that one says feet on it for some reason.
So you rest like your feet on it, or you put it in the bottom of the bed, so you can put your feet on, keep your feet warm.
Yeah, so it's still a hot water bottle then.
So I was here 2 years ago. I was here 2 years ago, yeah, and we went in there when you was up.
Because before we found the broken arch, you know, the brick arch that was broken, we were literally at the top of that.
So I came here 2 years ago, went in there,
I've forgotten how long
and
ago.
it's going to be a shock to me now to see how much they've dug.
Oh, because it's full of rubbish?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've just been turning up photos because I'm doing a slideshow on it tomorrow night. It was
Oh,
April 2018.
so that photo, there's my torch. That's basically that view, looking back there. So that mound of earth went up at the back there.
It's pretty much under the roof.
Yeah, it was pretty much up to
So where were they throwing that in? Through that hole? That end hole? Like, do you know what I mean? How, you weren't carrying the dirt down here, carrying it over there and throwing it up. Why, do you know what I mean? Why is all the dirt back up against that wall down there?
They must have.
It must have been coming in there.
Well, where they put where the brick is there, where it's sort of been concreted in that arch.
Yeah.
That's probably where they've been throwing it through, and that's where it's all piled up. So eventually, it's gone like that. So, yeah.
What do you do with the stuff what goes away from here? Does the council remove it? Does it go to landfill? What, do you have a mission? Is it proper hard? Do you, it's £70. It's £70 a ton. So what do you mean? How much does it cost to empty this place in? A silly amount of money.
Was it 125?
When we emptied the Paddington site,
Yeah.
4 years, it took us 159 skips, and we put about 12 tons in each, 8-ton skips. And we were paying 125 quid a go for them. Cost a lot more since we came down here.
Yeah,
More like
all the
180
skips
quid now.
Yeah.
We got them at a good price because it was all the same sort of stuff, you know, they could use it, they didn't have to sift it.
Yeah, it can go building rubble and stuff,
That's
I
right,
suppose,
yeah.
can't
But even so, it cost a lot. That's where most of our fundraising effort went to.
it? Yeah, I can imagine.
Getting people to donate.
I only understand because me and him, we clean rubbish dumps, so it's usually down to us to remove the cost of rubbish, and it's extortionate, do you know what I mean? It can be a lot of money.
It
You understand why people do fundraising and stuff like that.
Well, most of our fundraising efforts went into looking for donations from visitors just to keep us paying for the skips we had, so we didn't have to stop.
You could keep working.
Yeah. Because all we want to do is keep getting dirty.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So, where we're going next, we're going to go through there. Now, we didn't know this existed until we actually cleared down the spoil and this. We cleared down to the bedrock here, and that's when we found this trench. So we cleared the trench out, and then we found a cut in the rock there. We cleared that out. Then there was a brick wall at the back, which had been bricked up from the other side. So we've broke through there and basically found.
So you're not in someone's front room, are you?
So that was a new use for the word brick wall that we invented, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We broke through there. A bloody wall at all.
Yeah, it was a pile, wasn't it? And we've literally found probably something similar in height as this, and probably similar in length.
Yeah, just lower down in the ground.
Just lower down in the ground.
That red line there is level with the top of the roof of the chamber next door, which is about the same width as this, about 15 foot. The silly thing is, if we'd been on the ball, we would have known it was there, because it actually is there on the plan drawn by the Territorial Army, running parallel
to this one.
Yeah.
But we never took that plan seriously in those days.
No.
It wasn't until later when we discovered that. Oh yeah, it's actually here, it's shown on
Is there nothing else on that plan what you haven't found yet?
yeah, there's probably quite a few.
Apart from the big tunnel?
The Holy Grail is the Great Tunnel, which is off in that direction somewhere. We hope to get through from down here one day.
Or maybe the triple decker.
Well, the triple decker, we know exactly where that is because we've been in this. We know how to find the entrance again when we can go over the land.
You want to get back up on land now, run that tape measure out again, see where that blockage is up on surface, and there should be some sort of visual sign of that blockage on surface so long as it's not concrete. Alright, go, get in your
The feeling is going to be beyond the extent of our...
I'm going through, mate.
Yeah,
somewhere on the bank. Anyway, we measured it, it's 31 metres.
Yeah.
It's useful to know.
I'd like to see if you can see a bit of a dip in land up on, up on surface, see what's caused the...
Well, if it's on our land, it'll be on the concrete and the surface over there.
There could be a dip.
Are we going up, mate?
No, if you go down, yeah, turn left.
This, well, when I came out...
You went up. We can go up there. Yeah, we'll go up there as well if you want, but go left first.
Mate, this is mental, this. How deep are we under Liverpool here?
I'm not too sure, actually. I think we are underneath there. So, when you first came here...
When I first came here, we stood up there and this was excavated.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You could see.
And if you go... Yeah, open the space. Right, so... If you look down there...
Oh my god.
Holy
Now,
shit.
at the bottom there, when it's been raining heavy, water will build up in there,
Yeah.
but it drains off. As you can see, it's dry. So the water's going somewhere.
Shall we go see where?
We don't know where, you can't get through there. That's why we've had a drill through that's about 6 feet thick. It's a pile. It's not a brick wall, it's a pile holding, which the army put in to hold up a building above ground. Same as this one here. It's actually a pile, a brick pile that they've built.
Wow.
But the water is going away off down there
The
somewhere.
water is draining away because I've seen it where it floods up there, but it's draining off. It goes somewhere. You can have a look down if you want.
I thought we were already deep. Yeah, I thought let's have a look in there. I thought we was already deep here.
No.
Like, nice. Get in there.
You're doing the shoulder stuff.
Look at the channels on the. So, what have you done then? Have you dug right down there and then started digging through the bottom of the pile?
Yeah, we started to.
Nice.
Now, if you look up there, you can see the cut in the rock. So that's a key for an arch. You can see some of the bricks still there. So originally that would be an arch that would have gone across here, and maybe above that would be
More
a floor.
arches.
So like a bit like Paddington where you've got 2 levels.
That's
probably how it
that's
works.
fantastic. See how they did it, innit? When they put that notch
Yeah.
in. Wow.
See, I didn't think you could do that. I thought you had to build up from the bottom to arch something. I didn't know you could just kink into the side of a wall like that, then do yourself a vaulted ceiling.
Originally, before this brick part came in, that would have gone all the way across. So this would have been like a 2-level tunnel, a bit like Paddington, where you've got 3 levels. So there probably would have been a sandstone floor on top of that, and then you've got the decorative arch up at the top, right above you there.
Keen as mustard.
Yeah, this is what the army put in. So they put this brick tile in to support the building that they built above. Same with that one as well.
You reckon they took the arch out then?
Yeah, they probably damaged all this when you put this in.
Don't know that.
Also, there's a pile there as well, which is of a later date. We have tried to dig around that to try and get around it, but we don't know what state the roof's in.
What goes on where you started digging into that pile there? How deep's that hole? Just goes in a few feet and then it stops and there's more brick.
Yeah, yeah.
So what you do, just chasing bricks back and just get revealing a new
because,
course of brick,
as I
new
say,
course of brick.
We put a drill bit, we put a 6-foot drill bit through there, and we then get to the other side.
Shut
So
up.
yeah.
So there's a tunnel down there? No,
Yeah, this tunnel-
there's.
This tunnel will carry on. It's just that has actually stopped our progress.
That was
So that's been put in much later.
Yeah, that was put in by the army, and this one here is coming at a later date as well. This concrete one.
This is the concrete pile.
Yeah.
Ah, oh yeah, yeah, let's see it. Wow.
So so we have tried to dig round it, but what we need to do a dig above ground because we don't know what state the roof's in. We don't know what damage they've done by putting these piles in.
Well, what was that supporting? Was that put into support something?
Yeah, so where we're under now, we're underneath what we call magnets. It was the Magnet Southern warehouse, so that building was put in and that's what that was supporting.
Right.
The brick piles were supporting an old army building.
Oh.
How big was the bloody building? Like, what's a pile? Is it essentially like a foundation stone?
Yeah,
What?
so it's like a foundation.
That
yeah.
seems like a very, very big foundation for a building.
I suppose with the army, they probably had military equipment on there, and so quite heavy, like tanks and things or whatever. So it needed to support a lot of weight.
Do you think the army would be all over the secret underground stuff?
You
Like,
think
do you know what I mean? If I were the army, that's where I'd be like, do you know what I mean? I'd be tensed up on grass and all my boys would be down here.
I'll be careful with that concrete because it's probably not steel. We'll just pour that in. So if you chip it, it'll all fall to bits and come down on you.
Yeah, that's why we left it because we
Just in case.
We need to basically what we need to do. We need to